One of the easier docks I've ever backed up into. Gonna tell me I have to slide my tandems. No? Oh, he's putting a lock on the airlines.
I'll let you know when I'm done.
Okay, thank you. And now we wait. We're letting the pressure out of the reservoir here. Since the last time we were shooting in Michigan, a lot has happened to my reservoir on my radiator coolant system. Took it into Volvo, and they replaced the EGR cooler, which I really didn't think it was the EGR cooler. I found no evidence of it leaking out of there. But Volvo always wants to replace the most expensive thing first. Well, of course, once I got it out of Volvo, it was still leaking. So then they determined, or I could see there were some additional leaks. This time I could see coming out of the some gaskets right over here on this side. So they replaced those, and now it's still leaking. So I gotta once and for all get this coolant problem taken care of. I get a lot of messages from you guys who have Volvos, and you have the same thing. It's not Volvo, it's Cummins. This ISX engine is just known for problems like this, so. And I think we got all the air out. You guys run that way if it starts to bubble up, okay? And I'll run that way. We're good. One thing I tried to explain to Volvo and other folks, the coolant gathers down here in this little mini reservoir on the end. That's an overflow, which then follows this tube down and comes out the bottom. Well, every time I stop, I'm noticing it all gathers there in that. It never used to do that, never used to gather in that little mini reservoir. And nobody seems to be concerned about that, but it's all coming out of the bottom. And the reason I say that is because when I'm driving, it's leaking, and notice how clean that axle is. The coolant is just flowing down onto that axle. From the little mini reservoir. All right, well, he got done unloading us. We got our coolant issue solved for now. So let's get the heck out of here. By the way, we're in Donna, Texas, which is just about as far south as you can go in Texas anyway. Well, we're on our way to Corpus Christi, Texas, which is surprising to get a load out of here. It's a 160-mile deadhead. Not my favorite, but
We're watching Adventures in Trucking with Indiana Jack. Go Jack.
Line 2 is US 80 East.
we are on US 2.
Take US 281 North Edinburgh.
Gonna merge on the 69 here, which is really 281. 10-4.
Take US 281 North Edinburgh.
This is actually a huge trucking area because of the border. I really enjoyed being here. It was really nice. We unloaded paper this morning or cardboard that we picked up in El Paso. Oh no, there's the coolant alarm. Oh boy. I wish they'd invent a truck that didn't have coolant.
Continue on this road for 72 miles.
Now you hear me. I'm going to get out and look at the coolant, and it's going to be fine. It'll show a little bit low, right under the maximum, because if you have it at the maximum, then it's too much. To Corpus Christi. We're here at the Flying J. That's coming up here at Monte Cristo. It's a tight one. It's not one of your bigger Flying J's. That guy's rolling in on his on a flat tire. Let's see, what do we got? 345. If fuel was always 345, that would be a huge raise. Thank you, Saudi Arabia. I say that because they're keeping the overflow of oil coming in right now. Actually, to hurt.
Mile. Take the entrance to the left on I-69C North US 281 North.
The fact that we're drilling and fracking and all that stuff. So it really hurts us. But it helps us little truckers because we need cheap fuel. You know, we're talking a huge decrease in fuel. 50 cents. I won't just throw out a number, but I'm guessing that's $5,000 by the end of the year. Wouldn't you know? 3 places were open all the time we sat there at the light. And maybe we can slip in here down at the end. Negative and grumpy for nothing. I hate seeing those dollars add up like that. But it's nice not having it go up into the 600s, which when I fill up in California, it's always in the 600s. Here it's only going to be like 400 or something. Well, I got on this fill up 6.42 fuel mileage. Howdy.
How you doing? You a citizen?
Yes, sir.
Anybody in the back, sir?
No.
Okay. What are you hauling today?
I'm empty going to Corpus Christi.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. Well, that wasn't painful, but sometimes if somebody asks me a direct question, I can't always give a direct answer. I did then, but I don't know if it's my age or what. I get that brain freeze. So sometimes I'll forget what I'm hauling. And I actually have to look at the paper. I think it's an age thing, but they're not going to let us pick up tonight, and I have to leave the property. And there's a strike going on here, so there's a lot of bad things here. So alright, we're
Approaching destination in 1/4 mile on the right
we're
side.
up here where the shopping center is. And it doesn't look trucker friendly. Maybe I can sneak behind here
You have arrived at your destination on the right
Yeah,
side.
that Walmart says no
Supercenter.
trucks. But this Lowe's doesn't. I don't mean we're gonna park out here. Although, if I'm desperate enough, I might try to. A lot of the Lowe's and Home Depots, you can't drive around the back because they have them blocked off. Home Depot more than Lowe's, but yeah, I think I'll be able to get away with it here. Oh boy. They got these trailers. These trailers were not on Google Maps. So I was hoping to park along here. Neither was this gate. Well, here's a place. Oh no, some truck knocked that light pole over. They're definitely not going to like trucks here. I don't know if it was a truck, I'm just assuming. I think I'll be okay here. I see other trucks have parked here. I see oil stains. But I can't idle because somebody's bedroom is right there. And they will call the cops. Not that I would be idling anyway. This looks like it's it for the night. It's as good a place as any, especially since there isn't any other place. Parking is an issue that we talk about a lot because it's such an important part of a trucker's life. If we can't find a place to park, then what do? We have to find a place to park our 53-foot trailers when we're in an area where there's no truck parking. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Just woke up, it's freezing. It's probably not freezing outside, but it's cold. I can't start the engine or anything until I check the coolant while it's cold, because then all the coolant settles to the bottom and I can actually put some in so it won't all spray out. I slept good. Slept 8 hours. I just don't want to go outside and fill up that coolant, but something I have to do. So, no sense in whining about it. Gotta get out of here. crack my back a couple times. Jack's cracking his back. And let's get out there and get that coolant filled up. See, now that it's cold, I can actually see where the coolant level is in reality and fill it up. It's not that low, but low enough that I need to add some, otherwise that alarm is going to be going off all day long. All right, we're going to fire her up. Well, we're back here at this Fort Knox place where I'm going to be hauling gold and diamonds and gems, $1,000 bills. I'm just joking. Some of these companies are so secure they make you think you're going into Fort Knox. Thanks, Taliban. We love ya. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. All right. Well, let's go over in the dirt. Sure, I just washed my truck, so let's get her muddy. Okay. Now I gotta go find out what I'm actually hauling. I'm gonna be loading shortly, so I'm happy about that. I had to watch one of those silly safety videos, which all these big companies make you watch those just for safety purposes. Well, they're loading me. I can feel the truck rocking, and they're fast here, man. They're lightning fast. I had to wait out there quite a while for them to come get me, but man, I've been at the door. They're almost done. We're going to be rolling very soon here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Well, we're finally getting out of here. If they don't throw tomatoes at me again. No, they didn't throw tomatoes at me. To cross those picket lines or not. But we're on our way to Nashville, Tennessee. Gonna drop off this heavy load of dirt there. Man, knock on wood about the coolant. On loads this heavy, it puts a strain on everything in the vehicle, so naturally it would get hotter, use more coolant. leak more.
In 1 mile, turn right on
Etc.
TX2 Duisburg.
Now we're late because it took them a half hour to make my fillet of fish sandwich. So what I'm going to do is just use this as my 30-minute break. I had planned to take that this afternoon, but they kind of changed my plans. Plus I have a little bit of coolant leaking out. I don't think that's going to be that enough to make me have to put any more in it. So another few minutes to wait here and we'll be on our way through Houston. Well, we're definitely in a trucking town called Refugio, Texas. Refugio, Texas. A lot going on here at this Valero
Continue on this road for 34 miles.
truck stop. A lot of trucks coming through here. Today is going to be a busy day getting through all these little towns and Houston. That's going to be a nightmare. Oh, there's a policia behind us. Policia. Those trucks that are local that you see, they probably know why they should be in the left lane. Either the road turns left up here or they're going to turn left. Usually when you see a long line like that, it's locals and they know this road, whereas I've never been on this road. Well, I have been, but it's been a few years. But I'm not going to race them because I'm so heavy. This says alternate 77. I don't want alternate, I want regular old 77. That sign back there said low clearance, but it didn't say what the bridge was, what the clearance was. So we might be surprised when we get up here. I can't imagine it being lower than 13.6, but we shall see. Policia did get somebody. Woohoo! He was looking for somebody. I'm so glad that I was, I don't do anything wrong, but as I always say, the police always make you think you're doing something wrong. Over, height, load detected, use next crossover. We're okay. Well, we're passing through Houston. Why do I have a frown on my face? It doesn't really matter when you come through Houston. At least in LA, where I'm from, there's the middle of the day where there's no traffic. It's only 1:30, and this is what we have. So,
Hey everyone, this is the Little Dog, and you're watching Adventures in Trucking with my friend Indiana Jack.
we're in Lufkin, Texas, at one of my favorite truck stops. Of all time. It's Fuel City here. We used to get stuck going to the Loves right up the street, but then they built this one and it's so much nicer and bigger.
Continue on this road for 5 miles.
And so it's just a better place to stop, even though I'm just stopping for a short period of time.
In 1,000 feet, make a U-turn if possible. Construction ahead.
We have another 99 miles to go today. And of course I'm getting the coolant alarm. Here we are at Lufkin, Texas. Boy, it's been a long day. And I can only hope there's a spot to park here. And there is, so I'm happy about that. It's hard for me to see at night. And I like to be straight, so it doesn't look like I've had something to drink. There we go. That guy to the left, he was a nice guy. He kept on his marker lights so that I could see. We're in Longview, Texas. I'm here at the Flying J in Arkansas. The lady was so efficient, she put my scale ticket inside the bag so that I didn't have to carry the CAT scale ticket out to my truck. How nice of her. You might be saying, why did I wait so long to weigh? I only did that for axles. And in Texas, you really don't have to weigh. You should, but it wouldn't have been a big deal. I knew I wasn't overweight, but I wanted to make sure my axles were adjusted correctly now that I'm in Arkansas and Tennessee, which are truck-hating states. So we got that squared away. Now I'm going to put some diesel treatment in. A friend of mine, Dallas, he's a real trucker. He told me about this Howie treatment you put in your engine. Because these older engines, the injectors get all gumped up and everything, and this really helps. I've noticed when I put these in, my engine seems to perform better, doesn't make as loud of a sound, doesn't vibrate as much, so I like this stuff. I don't use it all the time, but about every other fill-up, especially when it's cold. Well, I got fuel. I didn't get fuel, but I put that treatment in. We definitely have sun this morning. Here in good old Texarkana, Arkansas, they put a new exit here, which I made the mistake a few weeks ago when I came here and exited out the front. They don't want you to do that anymore. They want you to come around to this new exit, which makes a lot of sense. They didn't have this before. There's no cars coming.
Turn
Oh,
left on AR-108.
I can tell a difference in that
Construction
Howie
ahead.
fuel treatment. I know it's hard to hear for you guys, but when you've owned a truck or driven it for a long time, you know every sound that it makes. You know if it does something different that you're not used to, you know that.
In 1/4 mile, take the entrance to the left on
Just like you have kids, those of you that have kids, you know if they're lying. You know them so well. Well, we as truck owners, or vehicle owners, if you're really into cars, you know if it's doing something out of the ordinary. And after I put that Howie fuel treatment in, it makes all the difference in the world to me. us in our trip to Nashville. Not too much longer to go. We're right on schedule. And got to put some coolant in the truck and get her ready to go. And of course, we have our Subway sandwich. So let's get rolling on to Nashville right as soon as we fill up our coolant. Well, I got the coolant alarm, so I'm letting some of the steam out so I can fit some in, but it takes like a half an hour. Otherwise it boils over. I sure don't need these problems. Well, we're finally crossing over into Tennessee. Construction through here.
Crossing border, entering Tennessee.
And it looks like it's turning a little gloomy. But it's not cold enough to snow. It's 45 degrees, so we're okay there.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
I heard somewhere that this freeway 40 was originally supposed to go straight here and not turn left and go around like it does in a minute. Well, if you're a trucker, you know that, how it curves to the left here, up here, and you have to go way around. But they never finished it. I think they even have the property, but maybe it's money, I'm not sure. It's always money.
In 1 mile, into the left on I-40 East.
On our way to Nashville, almost there. Well, we're downtown Nashville. Almost to our drop, which is Lebanon, just a few more miles east of here. Surprisingly, there isn't a lot of traffic today. Which is rare for Nashville. So we'll be dropping shortly in Lebanon,
Into
Tennessee.
the left on I-40.